You know why they call it a half eagle?
No, I don't.
Okay, well, it's a $5 gold piece. Our standard gold coin was the eagle. That's what everyone called it.
These UFO stereos are definitely strange looking, but they have that retro feel that attracts sci-fi fans and hipsters.
The episode kicks off with the most important mystery in pawn shop history. Someone's been stealing from Rick's change jar. Rick's convinced it's Corey, but Corey fires back. "You've accused me of that my whole life." Chumlee's already clowning around, grunting, "Oink oink, put those pennies in the banky bank." Rick's fuming, "It's not a piggy bank, it's a jar." The old man deadpans, "It's a piggy bank, son. Just don't look like one family comedy gold."
Heather, how are you? I'm doing great.
I have an 1861 coin that my grandfather gave to me before he passed away.
Then comes the first real customer. A man walks in with an 1861 half-eagle gold coin passed down from his grandfather. Rick immediately perks up. "That's cool. Civil War era gold." The guy explains it might have a C mint mark, Charlotte Mint. Rick's eyes widen like a slot machine. "Now that's rare." Corey interrupts. "Stop touching it." Classic Corey. Always the fun police. Rick explains if it's authentic, this could be a 5-figure find.
I brought down an 1861 coin that my grandfather gave to me. He said that it had some value. He said, always keep it.
Rick dives into a mini history lecture. Back in the 1860s, America still used English and Spanish coins, but Charlotte minted its own from local gold. These were mostly melted down overseas for trade, making surviving ones super rare. The seller's not sure what to ask. Rick warns, it's one of the most counterfeited coins in US history. Still, he can't hide the excitement. He calls for Mike, his coin expert, to verify the piece. Cue the suspense.
I was hoping to get at least 1,000. I hope he's ready to negotiate because I love my bottles and I don't want to give him.
While Rick's waiting on Mike, another seller walks in with antique whiskey bottles. One's cobalt blue and gorgeous, the other's a decanter with purple glass. "They're hand blown," she says proudly. Rick's impressed. Casper's Whiskey, post-Civil War era. He explains they were the Sears of whiskey, selling mail-order jugs. Turns out blue glass bottles were super rare. This is liquid gold for bottle collectors, minus the liquid.
Well over 100 years old. It's hand blown.
Now, did you know that the purple glass, why it turns purple?
The seller wants $500 for one. Rick spots a small chip and drops his offer to $250. She insists it's mold damage. "That's not part of the mold," Rick says flatly. They go back and forth. $325, $300, deal. She laughs. "I'm gonna buy more bottles." Rick smirks. "Of course you are. Nothing like trading 100-year-old whiskey bottles for the modern kind."
I just took some change out to get a soda from the soda machine.
That's taking my change, chum.
Cut back to the shop. Rick's still obsessing over his missing change. Chumlee tries to logic his way out. "You own the soda machines, so technically, I'm just transferring your money." Rick stares blankly. "That's not how it works." Chumlee insists it's a win-win. He gets soda. Rick gets his change back someday. Rick finally snaps, "Go get your soda and don't touch my jar again." Chumlee walks away grinning. "Want me to pour you one?" Pure chaos.
A guy brought in an extremely rare 1861 half eagle.
Mike the coin expert finally arrives. He confirms it's a Charlotte minted half eagle. Philadelphia made over 700,000. Charlotte? Just a fraction of that. The seller's stunned. Rick can barely contain himself. Mike inspects the C under magnification. No tool marks, no signs of tampering. It's authentic. Rick grins ear to ear. Mike drops the bomb. "In this condition, worth around $15,000. The seller nearly faints.
So what's it worth?
In this condition, I would say on a good day, you could get about 15,000 for this coin.
Now it's negotiation time. Seller shoots high, $12,000. Rick, ever the realist, starts at $7,500. The seller counters $9,500. Rick shakes his head. "I've got to send it for grading. If it's cleaned, I eat the loss." He bumps up to $8,000, not a penny more. The man agrees. Boom, deal done. Seller leaves thrilled, planning to remodel his house. Rick just added a small fortune to his collection, one coin at a time.
I have here a one-of-a-kind item. It's a Dr. Julius Erving signed game-used sneaker.
Next up, Chumlee's turn. A guy brings in a Dr. J signed game-used sneaker from the 1970s, size 16. Chumlee's amazed. "I could live in that thing." The seller says he got it personally after meeting Julius Erving while driving the 76ers team bus. There's even a photo of them together. He wants $2,000. Chumlee's interested but skeptical. It says Julius Erving, not Dr. J. Could be real, could be fake, could be both.
School, he wasn't even recruited. I mean, he just literally enrolled at UMass.
The seller swears it's authentic, though he has no paperwork. Chumley says, if it's game-worn, that's worth thousands. If it's not, it's worth lunch money. He calls in Steve Grad, their autograph expert, to verify. While they wait, Rick's still losing his mind about his missing change. Corey admits he took 65 cents and even left an IOU. Rick's face is priceless. That's stealing. The old man butts in. You should be proud, son. He left a note.
Rick, I got a business around here. I ain't worried about your damn piggy bank.
The family argument goes full sitcom. Rick rants about boundaries, Corey defends himself, and the old man casually admits he'd steal from the jar too. If I wanted a soda, I'd tap your piggy bank in a heartbeat, and I wouldn't leave an IOU. Rick groans. Unbelievable. Corey jokes, so the rule is, the jar's fair game? Rick just sighs, utterly defeated. Pawn shop anarchy achieved.
The signed Dr. J basketball shoe from the 70s. It could be a sweet investment.
Back to Chum and the shoe. Steve Grad arrives and immediately goes full expert mode. Dr. J revolutionized basketball, he says. He checks the ink, flow, and compares the autograph to authentic samples. It's live ink, perfect overlap, correct J. He confirms it's real. However, he can't say it's definitely game used. Value? Around $400 to $500. Chumley looks disappointed but polite. Thanks, Steve. Appreciate it.
These two things together when you're looking at the game used item. But you look at the bottom, there's really not a lot of use on this.
Chum offers the seller $400. The guy won't budge under $800. Chumley pushes for $500, but no deal. The seller smiles. I'll give it to my grandson. Chum shrugs. Cool, at least it stays in the family. Another missed opportunity, but at least Chum didn't buy a fake shoe this time. Progress, people. Progress.
Where's my jar? Where's my jar?
Should be right there.
In the final scene, Rick returns to find a new piggy bank, an actual pink pig. The old man and Corey are grinning like kids on Christmas. Where's my jar? Rick yells. Corey smirks. We used your money to buy you the new one. The old man adds. It's custom made. Look at the back. Rick flips it over. Little Ricky's piggy bank. His face says it all. Pure defeat.
So you can get started. Got that for you.
What's that?
That's the IOU I had, and the other one.
Rick mutters thanks, but demands, now where's my money? The old man hands him Corey's IOU note. You can start with this. Rick walks off fuming while Corey grins. You're welcome, Dad. The old man calls out, piggy male menopause, that's what they call it. Fade out. Honestly, funniest ending in ages. Justice for Rick's change jar, or what's left of it.
Did you know that on Cinco de Mayo is like the day for avocados of the year? They sell like 80 million avocados for Cinco de Mayo.
The episode starts with Rick in full history teacher mode, talking about avocados. Did you know Cinco de Mayo is the biggest day for avocados? They sell 80 million. Corey blinks. Why do you know that? Rick fires back. Because I read. Chumley naturally hijacks the topic. Margaritas, sombreros, mustaches, let's have a party. Rick tries to explain the actual Battle of Puebla, but Chum cuts him off. I thought we were having a party, not a lecture. Poor Rick. Fiesta canceled, kind of.
Oh, pretty good. What do we have here?
Well, it's a Claude Monet painting.
Then, business kicks off. Rick greets a man holding a Claude Monet painting. The guy casually says, the owner died, so I ended up with it. Rick's jaw drops. So, a real Monet? The seller nods. It was insured for $2.1 million. Rick practically forgets to breathe. If this is legit, he says, we're talking millions. The seller's hoping to walk out a millionaire. Rick calls in his art expert, because if this thing's real, it's about to be the most expensive Pawn Stars deal ever.
He started it. I mean, Impressionism is named after his painting Impression Sunrise. That's why his paintings are worth so much money.
Rick gives a crash course in Impressionism like he's prepping for Pawn Stars, the college course. Monet started the Impressionist movement. Guys like Renoir followed. His blurry, colorful brush strokes changed art forever. Rick examines the painting, muttering, could this be early period Monet? The seller hands him documentation, museum insurance papers, even a Las Vegas art museum tag from 1997. It all checks out. Rick's sweating. Let me get my art guy down here, he says. Cue dramatic music.
To say if this is real or not.
Okay.
But I might have a lowly pawn shop, but I do spend some serious money every once in a while.
Meanwhile, Corey's handling something much heavier, a firefighter water cannon from the 1930s. The seller bought it at auction, thinking it'd be fun to water flowers with. "You didn't just buy a hose?" Corey asks. The guy wants $700. Corey explains, "When fire trucks came around, these were state-of-the-art. It's cast iron, bronze, and brass. Basically, the Rolls-Royce of 1930s hoses." Corey starts the haggling war. Seller says $650. Corey fires back with $600. They shake hands. Sold. Corey's fireproof instincts win again.
Go 400?
No, I won't take 4.
Next up, Chumley's helping a man with Volkswagen silver bars. Each bar commemorates VW's 25th year in America. Corey jokes, "You still want that banana yellow Beetle, right?" Chum nods proudly. With a surfboard rack, the seller explains he got them from a customer who couldn't pay their bill. He wants $400 total. Corey calculates instantly. 8 ounces of silver, $20 an ounce, $160. Seller laughs. "You can always go higher." Corey deadpans. "Not in this economy."
Of the 25th anniversary of Volkswagen selling vehicles in the U.S. market.
The seller tries pushing for $250, but Corey refuses. "My grandpa will shoot me if I pay over spot price. It's $160 or nothing." The seller sighs, "Better than a poke in the eye with a sharp stick? Deal." As Corey counts the cash, he grins at Chum. Volkswagen's motto should be, "You get what you get and you don't throw a fit." The seller walks out muttering something about decadent 1980s silver bars. Corey shrugs. "At least it's shiny."
Do you know that mostly in Mexico they don't even celebrate Cinco de Mayo?
What?
Do you know what Cinco de Mayo was?
Back at the counter, Chum and Rick are still prepping for the Cinco de Mayo party. Chum suggests candy piñatas. Rick insists on cash piñatas. Then Rick naturally launches into another history lecture. Cinco de Mayo's about the Battle of Puebla, not Independence Day. Chumley interrupts. "Wasn't it like Mayonnaise Day?" Rick groans. "No, Independence Day's September 16th. Chum mutters, "Sounds miserable." Rick grins. "You'd love my book on Mexican history." Chum deadpans. "That sounds really miserable."
This guy came in with a painting that he is claiming is a genuine Monet. If this is real, we're talking millions here.
Rick's back to the Monet madness. Expert Brett arrives and gasps, "This is the Monet." He gushes about how Impressionism revolutionized color and light. If authentic, he says, this could be a $5 million painting. But then he frowns. There are red flags. The texture's too flat, color's too limited. He calls in a second expert for backup. Rick agrees. "If it's fake, I'd rather find out before I sell my house." No kidding.
You're just gonna spit out facts all day. You really want to have a history lesson, or do you want to party?
Meanwhile, Chum, Corey, and the old man are plotting. "We can't let Rick come to the party," Chum says. "He'll just talk history all night." Corey agrees. "He's a walking Wikipedia." The old man laughs. "He gets that from me, but the annoying part's all him." They hatch a plan. Fake a history conference or send him to Pahrump for the day. Chum giggles. "If we're partying, I'm bringing a pitcher of margaritas." The old man smirks. "And I ain't sharing." Absolute chaos incoming.
A guy came in with what he claims is a genuine Claude Monet paint. This is the guy who pioneered the Impressionist.
Back to the Monet. Second expert Gerard arrives, inspecting every brushstroke like Sherlock Holmes with a paintbrush. He explains Monet's style, age indicators, and signature cracking patterns. "This should have cracks. 150 years old, it should show age." He finds none. Also, no texture through the canvas. Rick's face drops. Gerard sighs. "It's in the style of Monet, but not by Monet." Boom! Dream shattered. Seller looks like he just lost the lottery. Rick just mutters, "Figures."
Who it could be. You will have all the oil paint sweating through the canvas. Here you don't see that.
The seller asks, "How sure are you?" Gerard doesn't flinch. 200% sure. The paint's too new. The surface too flat. Rick pats the man's shoulder. "Well, it's not every day you find out you don't have millions." The guy sighs. "Guess I'll hang it in my living room." Rick smiles awkwardly. "Hey, at least it's pretty." That's about as comforting as losing the jackpot and being handed a free sandwich.
Right, time to party. The guys told me the party was going to be at the shop at 5 p.m. in the back lot.
Finally, it's fiesta time. Rick shows up to the shop with sombreros, expecting a full-on Cinco de Mayo bash. "Corey! Chum! Where's everyone?" The place is empty. Rick checks his phone. Nothing. He walks around yelling, "Guys!" All he finds are decorations, chips, and a card labeled Fun Facts. Uh-oh. You can see the rage building like a volcano.
Guys, where are you guys at?
Rick reads the note aloud. People are interested in the historical aspect of holidays, so we went to barn. Then, read the fun facts to find us. He looks around in disbelief. I paid for this party. From a distance, Corey's voice yells, "Read the facts!" Chumley shouts, "We just stole a bottle of tequila from the winner!" Rick sighs, staring at the empty shop. You guys, end scene. Fiesta ruined. Knowledge gained. Rick Harrison, professor without a party.
What do you got there?
The pink 1969 rear load beach bomb.
That's the holy grail of Hot Wheels, isn't it?
It sure is.
What do you want for it? Damn.
We start this one off hot. Literally, a customer strolls in holding what looks like a toy car, but not just any toy. A 1969 pink rear loader beach bomb Hot Wheel. Rick's jaw drops. That's the holy grail of Hot Wheels, isn't it? The guy smirks. It sure is. The car's mint, surfboard still attached. And then he drops the bomb. He wants $150,000. Rick stares at him like he just ordered a $500 Big Mac. Let me call a friend.
1969 rear load beach bomb.
That's the holy grail of Hot Wheels, isn't it?
It sure is. It's in mint condition. These are the original surfboards that go with it.
Yeah, that was a ragtop Volkswagen. Volkswagen Transporter. We call it a bus, but technically it's a transporter.
Rick's nostalgia kicks in. When I was a kid, Hot Wheels were everything. Camaro, Mustang, you name it. He explains how this prototype version was never sold to the public, only tested. The customer casually adds, "I've got about 6,000 Hot Wheels at home." Rick nearly faints. "You're Hot Wheel crazy!" The man nods proudly, and we all know this is about to be a collector showdown.
My neighborhood, we all had our Hot Wheels. All right, do you know anything about it?
They actually stopped making this variety and made a different variety of the Volkswagen bus.
Okay.
Hence, this was never for sale to the public. That's why.
Rick calls his buddy Johnny, the toy expert from Toy Shack. "Johnny, I've got something wild." Rick says, "You better bring gloves." The seller grins, completely confident. It's the only one like it. You can practically feel Rick's nervous energy. If this thing's real, he could buy a new shop with the profit or a lifetime supply of Hot Wheels.
I don't even touch it. Let me call a friend. He owns a Toy Shack right down the street. He's a pretty big dealer in toys.
He sure is. I know him.
Cut to Corey and Chumley, who are about to take a detour to space. A woman brings in 2 round Weltron UFO stereos from the 1970s. "They were part of my divorce party," she laughs. Space-age music for a new life. Corey loves the design. Bright white spheres with 8 tracks and cassettes. But Chumley's like, "I'm all about digital downloads." Translation, he's never seen one before.
They're pretty cool. What can you tell me about it?
1969, United States first put a man on the moon. 1970, Weltron and JVC, those were 2 to kind of hop on this space age.
The seller wants $3,000 for both stereos. Corey bursts out laughing. They look like they came off a 70s Star Trek set. He tests one. It works, kind of. The sound's as fuzzy as Chumley's logic. They're cool, Corey admits, but they're novelty. He offers $500. She begs for $600. He refuses. They settle on $550. "You beat me down," she sighs. Corey grins. "That's my job."
A guy came in with an extremely rare Hot Wheels car. I know it's worth a lot of money, but I don't know if it's worth over $100,000. I mean, it's a toy car, and I'm getting his opinion.
Back to the main event. Johnny, the Toy Shack expert, arrives. Rick hands him the Hot Wheel like it's a Fabergé egg. Johnny gasps, "This is the pink rear loader beach bomb." He explains how Matchbox ruled the 60s, but Hot Wheels changed everything. Faster, sleeker, flashier. Only 2 pink ones known to exist, Johnny says. And this is the prototype. Rick's jaw hits the floor. "So it's real?" Johnny nods. 100%.
This is the rarest and most sought after Hot Wheel in existence.
All right, so this is legit.
This has changed the industry of collecting Hot Wheels. Nobody thought that anybody could make an impact on Matchbox. Matchbox dominated the diecast market.
Johnny inspects it under a magnifier, describing every flaw and mark. The lettering, the bumpers, the casting, they all match the prototype. This base is different from production models. He pauses, then grins. "This is a legit prototype, Rick. Easily worth $100,000, Rick whistles. "That's one expensive toy." Johnny laughs. "Yeah, but this one changed the entire diecast industry."
So what are you looking for?
This is a different base than the early production ones. So this is definitely the prototype. And there's certain things in the lettering, the bumpers, even like flaws in the casting that are only available to the prototypes in the early productions.
Now comes the big negotiation. Rick's ready to buy, but not to break the bank. The seller opens strong, $150,000. Rick shoots back, $60,000. The seller frowns. Rick bumps it to $65,000. The guy drops to $140,000. They're galaxies apart. Rick goes to $70,000 final offer. The seller shakes his head. No deal. This is my pink baby, he says. Rick sighs. Well, thanks for bringing it in. No sale, but a piece of Hot Wheel history just rolled through the shop.
It was cool to see it. Okay.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
You too. Unfortunately, this is truly my pink baby. I appreciate his offer of $70,000.
Next, we find Chumlee declaring himself an author. Rick's trying to read Sammy Davis Jr.'s memoir, and Chum interrupts, "My life would make a better book." Rick groans, "You usually write a memoir after you've accomplished something." Chumlee deadpans, "There's a war on these streets, Rick. You gotta be careful out there." Rick just stares, silently questioning his life choices.
Hey, how's it going?
Fine, fine. I have here an etching of one of the most famous moms in the world. This is an etching, Rembrandt.
Where did you get this?
Then, a new customer arrives with something big, an etching by Rembrandt. She says it's called Rembrandt's Mother with her hand on her chest. Rick's instantly intrigued. Rembrandt, huh? That's impressive. She's hoping for $10,000. Rick gives her a history lesson on etching. Wax, acid, copper plates, all that. He explains states, meaning the number of times a plate was reworked. Early states equal more money. The seller's eyes light up. It could be the second state, she says. Rick smiles nervously. Could also be the seventh.
And they would press the paper into it, so the spongy part would go into those valleys and suck the ink off. And you'd pull it off and you'd have, that's your etching. The one problem was, though, copper is really, really soft.
Rick explains how early Rembrandt states can fetch 6 figures. If this is first or second state, his hands touched it. The seller beams, ready to cash in. Rick calls in Brett, his art expert. If anyone can tell us the state, it's Brett. As they wait, Chumlee's still writing his memoir. He tells Rick, "You're the villain in my story." Rick glares. "You'd still be flipping burgers if it wasn't for me." Chumlee grins. And that's chapter 1.
A lady came in with an etching by Rembrandt that could possibly be his mother. I need to know what state and what the value is of this etching. And if anybody will know, it will be Brett.
Brett arrives to inspect the Rembrandt and instantly nerds out. Rembrandt is the most esteemed printmaker in history, he says. He examines the lines and tonalities. Before Rembrandt, no one captured human expression like this. Then, plot twist, he recognizes it. This is from the Millennium Edition, printed from the original plate, but hundreds of years later. The seller's face drops faster than the stock market.
One of the things that's interesting about this particular print, I don't know, did you notice the signature?
Yes, it's dark.
Exactly, the inks are very heavy on this particular print. Now, I'm looking at the plate marks are very clear.
Brett confirms it's real, but not Rembrandt's handwork. It's pressed from his plate, but produced by Park West in the 20th century. Heavy ink, no subtle detail. Translation, it's authentic, but not that authentic. Value, around $1,500 to $2,000. Rick sighs. The seller forces a smile. "I was hoping for $10,000. Rick offers $800. She declines, deciding to keep it. "I'll just hang it on my wall," she says. "Still beautiful." Rick agrees. That's one way to enjoy a $2,000 art lesson.
I give you like $800 for it.
No, not at all. I know they paid over 4 figures for it.
Well, thanks for bringing it in,
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Back in the shop, Chumlee's finally finished his memoir. He holds it proudly, The Book of Chum. Rick demands to see it. The old man cackles. "You look like that Manson guy on the cover." Rick flips through it. Blank pages. There's nothing in here. Chumlee smirks. "You know what they say, Rick. You judge a book by its cover." Rick snaps. That's literally the opposite of the saying.
You look like that Manson guy.
Let me see the book. Nothing in it.
You know what they say, Rick? You judge a book by its cover. And that's one hell of a cover.
Chum defends it. It's a working title. Maybe 50 Shades of Chum? Rick groans. The old man just mutters, "Damn shame." Fade out on Rick shaking his head as Chumlee grins like he just published a masterpiece. No record-breaking sales, but definitely record-breaking nonsense.
Home Alone, Macaulay Culkin gets over on those guys time after time. That's the funniest prank movie ever.
We open mid-chaos with the guys arguing over the best prank ever. Corey's going with Home Alone, Chumley swears it's borax, and Rick's already had enough. Borax is soap, he deadpans. Rick dives into history mode. The best prank wasn't a movie, it was War of the Worlds. People jumped out of buildings. Chumley pauses. Doesn't sound that funny. Rick sighs. It's funny if you weren't there. Classic Pawn Stars. Chaotic, educational, and slightly concerning.
This is an antique cigar store countertop cigar lighter.
Do you know what year it is?
First customer walks in carrying something that looks like a small time machine. It's an antique cigar store countertop lighter, he says. Rick perks up instantly. 1920s tech, nickel finish, even reproduction batteries made to look period correct. He flips the switch and it sparks to life. Rick jumps back. It's a cigarette lighter / stun gun. The seller grins. I'm asking $1,500. Rick's wallet twitches nervously.
Oh, this is basically a cigarette lighter / stun gun.
Rick admits it's in great condition, complete with cigar burns for authenticity. But as always, he lowballs. I'll give you $900. The seller pushes for $1,300. Rick stays firm. A grand final offer. The man nods. Deal. Rick laughs. This thing scares me a little. And honestly, same. Cigars, gasoline, asbestos wick. Who needs fireworks when you can light up like it's 1925?
You gotta check this out, dude. Chum and I have a score to settle. I tried to prank him with a fake lottery ticket and it backfired.
Cut to Chumley and Corey mid-prank war recap. Chum tried to trick Corey with a fake lottery ticket. Corey figured it out, so now he's plotting revenge. I emailed him a list of errands and painted something on the back of his truck, Corey says proudly. Rick can barely hide his smirk. What's it say? Corey grins. Wave if you think I look like a walrus. Rick bursts out laughing. That's evil. Corey beams. He's gonna be honked at all day.
Very good, thank you. I have a check from Aaron Burr I'd like to show you.
Okay, that is definitely cool.
Next, a customer walks in holding a check signed by Aaron Burr. Rick's history radar goes off immediately. The guy who killed Alexander Hamilton? The seller nods proudly. That's the one. Rick gives a full-blown lecture. They dueled in 1804. He killed Hamilton and basically destroyed his career. Chumley interrupts, so it wasn't a hunting accident? Rick just stares. No, Chum. It was murder. The seller's asking price, $2,010. Because, as he says, I want you to pay with a Hamilton.
It says 3 pounds right here. What's that dollar value?
3 pounds back then was literally 3 pounds of silver.
Rick loves it, but wants an expert opinion. It's clearly signed, but there's a line through the name. Need to verify authenticity. He calls in his document guy, Stuart, the history whisperer. The seller waits around, confident. If it's good, we'll make a deal today, he says. Rick's hoping it's the real deal, and not another fake like Chumley's rare Elvis napkin from season 5.
Historic documents, a firm that buys, sells, authenticates, and appraises historic documents.
Stuart arrives and instantly drops historical gold. Burr and Hamilton hated each other from the start, he explains. They dueled in New Jersey because it was less illegal there. Rick nods like a proud student. Stuart analyzes the signature. Aaron Burr tilted his name 45 degrees and flat-topped his R's. He compares it to verified samples and grins. It's genuine. Signed by Burr himself, Rick pumps his fist. Awesome. Then Stuart adds the gut punch. Retail value? Around $750. Rick's face drops like Bitcoin in 2018.
All right, now the big question is, how much is it worth?
I think something like this has a retail value of about $750.
Rick's deflated. He killed Hamilton. Shouldn't that increase the value? Stuart chuckles. In collectibles, reputation is everything. Aaron Burr's got none. If this were Washington, 5 figures easy. Burr, barely 4 digits. Rick thanks him, but you can tell he's bummed. The seller jokes, want a duel for it? Rick smirks. I'd win. I'd shoot first.
I wouldn't go less than the $750 there.
$100 is a really fair price.
Negotiation time. Rick opens at $500. The seller insists on $750. They haggle like a math class gone wrong. $640, $610, $620. Rick grins. $610. Final. The seller sighs, you got me. Deal done. As he walks out, he admits he'll just find another historic check to fill the frame. Rick laughs. That's one way to erase history.
Don't screw around. I need you back here as soon as you can.
You know I love getting out of the shop.
I know, dude, but hurry up.
Cut to Corey setting up the next prank. He's not done with Chumley yet. He's sending him on errands all over Vegas with special instructions. Rick just watches, amused. I love a good prank, but Corey gets too into it. Sure enough, Chum's truck is now a moving billboard of humiliation. A few hours later, Chum realizes and scrubs it off, fuming. Corey grins. He won't get the last laugh. Oh, Corey, you sweet summer child.
A girl just came in and said she has an old car she wants to sell. So Corey and I told her to meet us around back. I love old cars.
Suddenly, popcorn explosion. Corey's rigged the old man's lot with popped kernels everywhere. The old man storms out like a Vegas volcano. I want this cleaned up now. Corey tries to explain, but it's too late. You better clean it up or I'll kick your damn ass. Grandpa's done with the prank war. Corey sheepishly nods. Lesson learned. Maybe.
I thought it was really unique in its own way, so I had to have it. I think it's in pretty good condition.
New scene. Rick meets a young woman selling her 1960 Chevy Corvair. It's baby blue, shiny, and sounds like a dream. Would you like to hear the horn? She asks. Rick smiles. Sure. It honks. Off-key and weird. Rick blinks. That's unique. She laughs. Yeah, I thought it was funny. She's asking $10,000. Rick and Corey exchange the universal pawn shop look. Here we go.
The Corvair was GM's attempt at a revolutionary new car. Other cars that were gaining popularity, like the Volkswagen.
Rick nerds out. This was GM's big innovation. Rear engine, air-cooled, like a Volkswagen. Corey adds, didn't Ralph Nader call it unsafe at any speed? Rick nods. Exactly, but collectors love them. The seller explains it's in great shape. New seatbelts, working horn, only slips out of gear sometimes. Rick deadpans, that's not a selling point.
What do you want to do with it?
I want to sell it. I'm asking 10 grand.
10 grand.
Rick takes it for a test drive with Corey. He's optimistic at first, until he starts turning. The steering's all over the place. Corey yells, "You have to fight this thing." Rick laughs nervously. It's like driving a boat on land. Then they smell exhaust. That's not good, Rick mutters. Corey calls it death trap. Rick sighs. Still, there's money here, if the price is right.
But I'm still his boss, so I get to make him clean the toilets anytime I want.
It don't even work. Corey, you're a moron.
They return the car and gently break the news. Rick explains the issues: gear slipping, exhaust leak, wobbly steering. You're asking way too much. The seller insists it's worth $8,000 by insurance. Corey nearly faints. I'd offer 3 grand, tops. She declines politely. No deal then. Rick shakes her hand, still smiling. At least now we know it drives kinda.
So, this is cool, but I don't know what to think of it, man.
Rick wraps up the dealist day with a sigh. Cool car, but not $10,000 cool. He and Corey walk back inside as Chumley and the old man trade sarcastic glares. Chum's ready to prank again, but Grandpa's done. Not funny, he barks. Corey and Chumley just smirk, already scheming. The old man growls, "You boys keep it up, and I'll prank you into the next century." Cut to laughter, and one very angry Grandpa.